Hey everyone, Jamie Phillips, Action Auto Parts. Well, I'm at the local, if you will, about 5 miles from my house, Family Dollar, and they're closing it. It's one of many that they're closing. And so I kind of wrote it out, and now they're doing the fixtures. Well, there's still some product in there, but not a lot, but they're actually selling the fixtures as well. So I came up last night, and they had this pretty heavy, pretty decent little old wheel dolly for 30 bucks. So I bought it. They said they probably wasn't going to use it, so I had to talk to one of the corporate guys. But they have two of the checkout counters, and they're about 6 foot long, and they got like shelves on the front for the candy, and then a countertop, and it's got a little offset where you can put the metal rack for the shopping bags. But then it's got on one side, it's got the cash drawer and some other lock box things that you can use, and some shelves underneath of it. So and it had an end cap on each end of pegboard. And so there was some confusion. They had the counter priced at one thing, but nobody knew about the end caps. They weren't priced. And so finally the guy from corporate today called me, and I got him to kind of understand what they were. And so, for another 20 bucks, we left them on there, which is fine. I got to leave those here until they officially close, because they still using it for one of the checkout lanes. But the dolly, he let me go on and bring it. There's another section of shelving that's only about maybe about 4 foot high, double-sided. I really like to have that for my showroom out at the new garage, to put oils and other miscellaneous stuff on there for sale. And it's a pretty long section, but they got it marked at $800, which is I can't afford right now with everything that's going on. But when I was talking to him today, I asked him, and he said, well, what don't sell by the time they close, they've got a company that'll come in and buy everything. He said, but he alluded that I could probably make an offer, depending on, he said, how much you're buying. So I've done bought a couple things, 150 bucks worth. And so if it would get down toward crunch time, I can make some extra money, and I could buy all that for $400 or so. I'd probably buy it, because I don't want real tall shelving, so I can see from the counter, because I got a lot of product I could put on those. But it's been staying busy. There's, like I said, there's not a lot of product. They got some of it marked down 50, 60, 70%. One of the women last night told me that if it holds to what they've been doing, Tuesday is should be the next markdown day on some product. There was a little bit of Armor All, some stuff like that in there. Nothing that I couldn't live without. I bought a bunch of crayon pencils and markers last night for the kids at church to take to church, and because they was $1 a pack. They was 3 something a pack, and they was down to $1 a pack. So I bought a bunch of those. And so I asked him about all the signs around the wall. It says cold drinks and frozen, and when you're leaving it says thank you. And he said, I hadn't even thought about that. I'll find out. Hey, I think I can get it, make a buck, get them signs bought cheap. Somebody got a little convenience store or whatever, may buy them to hang on the wall. I mean, they're not going to probably leave them in here anyway. How are you, honey? Doing good. That girl used to rent an apartment from me years ago. But it's a shame. This is a nice big store, and it seemed like that it was doing good, and they said it was, but Family Dollar's closing a bunch of their stores. I think they went from 6,000 down to 4,000, and they just said profit-wise, even though it was doing good, it wasn't doing good enough. So, and then the other thing was, well, you can't see it, but on the other side of these semis, there's a Shell station, and on the other side of that, they just put in a new Dollar General, which they're about every 4 or 5 miles up the highway. But this place had a lot of stuff that Dollar General didn't have. That being said, it's just corporate America, I guess. But anyway, I got that. I was thinking I was going to have to build a counter to put in my in the store part of my building. This is not probably as big as I would have built, but it's going to save me a bunch of room. And so, like I said, it'll give me the cash drawer, so I don't have to keep my money bag in my truck, which does create somewhat of a risk, because you don't never know. Yes, somebody could try to rob me inside, but I keep a pistol pretty close, but I could keep one even closer there and one on me. So I wanted to run up tonight. I then went home and was sitting around and told Crystal, I said, crap, I was supposed to run back up there to Family Dollar, and if nobody's beat me to it, and pay for that counter and going and get this dolly. The other thing they got, and I don't know how often I would use it, but they've got, it's a Yale, like the Yale locks, you know, but it's a Yale brand pallet jack. Just the hand, not a battery operated one, just the hand deal. And it's brand spanking new. She said that they may have used it 2 or 3 times. And she said a couple of the scratches come from where they was moving it back there, but it's still got the paperwork wrapped around the shaft with cardboard around it and stuff. And I think it got $195 on it. And I looked online, and some of the Yale you have to put in for a quote, the way I seen it. But anyway, some it didn't look as nowhere near as good as that one, was $400 something. So I don't really need it. And if something happened, they would take a whole lot less, and it was here, I'd buy it. And then if somebody come up there and needed it worse than me, then I might make some money on it. But it could be handy on some things. You know, if you got a motor or something sitting on the floor, you could slide underneath it, jack it up, and move around and whatever. But so that's been my experience tonight. A little bit busy today at the junkyard. I didn't really do any filming out there, but I just kind of wanted to talk about the Family Dollar here on Highway 27. In the community, it's kind of considered Kings Mountain, even though Kings Mountain's on out the road there, a couple 3 miles, but they call this Kings Mountain Corner. But the Family Dollar's closing. I don't know who owns the building, if it's some corporation or people that, you know, builds these and leases them out or what. But it's a nice building, and it doesn't look like it's been hurt inside on as far as roof, you know, any of those tiles having any leakage or something in it. But, so there you go. Got me a dolly. That'll come in handy for 30 bucks. I don't think I could have bought one that heavy built for any cheaper than that. And got me a checkout counter with a built-in cash drawer and storage and stuff. The other thing that I kind of caught my eye in there last night, and it's still there, is a tall cabinet, metal cabinet that's behind the checkout that holds the cigarettes. And I was looking at it, and, you know, of course, those shelves are about yay far apart where they put the packs there. The shelves come out, and it had a storage compartment on the bottom. It was locked. Well, this thing's, golly, counting the storage cabinet on the bottom and the top, it's probably 7+ foot tall, and say it's 3-4 foot wide, but it's got like a roll down garage door in it that you could lock. And I'm thinking, man, take those shelves out and it'd make a heck of a gun cabinet to protect your guns. They had 150 bucks on it, and I thought, man, that's kind of could be utilized differently. You know, if you go to put it in your house, you could repaint it, make it look a little bit better. Of course, take the Marlboro sign off the top of it. But I don't know. I just have to play it by ear. But I've got a few guns, but when we move, I'm going to fix a special spot for them. And I thought that thing there would be handy, where you could lock it up, and then you could put your ammo and stuff in the bottom and lock it up as well. But that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got to say about that. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, and you know what, guys and gals in YouTube land, I'll catch you in the next one.